Greetings and welcome to One Sparkle Love Church. Thank you for being a part of my congregation. Today is Sunday, 2 days after my birthday, and Tuesday, so that would have been 4 days ago, I had my fourth throat stretching. It's a wonderful world when you have a second job called the Cancer Center and you have to keep going for 5 years and not get paid. Wow, what a time waster. Once they find it, they get rid of it, but yet you still go back to, let's do some MRIs and CTs and PET scans, blood. I mean, you name it, everything under the sun, they be checking everything. But for some, I have no reason to want to even understand. Why is it that after it's gone, the last 2 years, I have to go every 6 months for chest x-ray? I might have read somewhere that the sinus cancer was eating the bone in my head, might have moved down to my chest, and they want to make sure that I don't get pneumonia. Okay, I got influenza a few months back. So they keep taking chest x-rays. Like, wow, you'd think they'd have enough, just like if they keep taking my blood. How about just stock it up and then don't ask me for no more, okay? I think y'all got enough. I'm not a pincushion. So, a couple of days after my birthday now. And back in the day, I used to go to this place called Waffle House. And there they had hash brown loaded. So you got your hash browns on top of that. You got, tomatoes and cheese and just all kinds of stuff, like at least layered with different foods, right? Like, oh my gosh, this is the bomb, right? So that was the hash brown loaded concept. Okay. So years later, I remember, trust me, an elephant never forgets. And so years later, my son, he always loved going to seafood restaurants. So we'd go and he'd always get 7 C's. That means it comes in a cup and juice from 7 different types of seafood in the cup. And that's why it's called 7 C's. So you got the first loaded, then that is the second loaded, and that's why I came up with the concept of oatmeal loaded. So in my oatmeal loaded, I have about 20 different ingredients. And that's the way I cook, because when you've had your esophagus falling apart, radiation in your throat, pretty much it's just scar tissue that has to come out. So basically, you have to eat soft, moist foods or you can choke to death. You can't breathe and you can't swallow. So, everything I cook is soft. So, my famous recipe is oatmeal loaded. I change it every week, but it's still the basic compounded chemicals of many different ingredients to equate to the one that my body needs, because I'm allergic to thousands of foods now. So as I'm cutting up my fruit, I'm not going to say which one, but one in particular, as usual, I will get indications. You will get a runny nose, you start sneezing. If you start sneezing around something, you're allergic to that type of food. So anyways, this one I haven't eaten in like a year. So I thought, well, I'll try it again, and yeah, I'm sneezing again, and the first thing that popped in my head is, as we all know, men and women both have hormones. Hormones control emotions. Your thyroid controls your going to the bathroom, sleeping, eating, and emotions. So it's a hormonal balance. When your hormones are out of balance, your thyroid is out of whack. And that's why 30 years ago they removed my thyroid, because it was out of control. And at that time, it had been going on for so long that there was nothing else to do. They couldn't treat it. It was totally, infested with, viruses or whatever. So they had to remove it. So bottom line is that when I see people, no matter the age, they can be like 30, 50, whatever, time for a drink. That means you too. I love that Cleaver's tea with coconut sugar. It's the best for morning wake up, okay? Because it helps with your immune system. So, as I'm cutting, I think about the people that throw the temper tantrum because they have to be always up in the news. It's so important for them to be noticed. Like, dude, I'm the elf that fixes your shoes when you're asleep. When you wake up, they're already done. That's me. That's the way I've always been. I'd rather just get in and do it, get it done, and get out when it's all peaceful and quiet. I don't need all the hoopla. I already got 2 million paparazzi. So I would prefer to do it alone and in quiet so I can concentrate on what needs to be done. It's funny, when I was younger, they'd say men that were driving have to turn down the radio to actually focus on what it was that they're doing. I'm like, what? It's better if I crank up the radio so that I can focus. Because the more chaos goes on in life and you can learn to focus, seeing the tree in the forest, that means you can actually get the job done correctly. If you're waiting for life to be quiet and stop existing so you can do what you need to do, well, you're on the wrong planet, obviously. How about stepping into the real world? So as I'm cutting up, I'm thinking about, okay, it's all over the news. And it's like, no matter what you do, you can't get away from it. I don't care what other people say, do, and think. Dude, I got enough on my own plate with 5 businesses, healing from cancer, and working full-time, plus all my creative projects. I have no time for anybody else's life in my life. I haven't watched the news in, it's been at least 25 years. And I did the social media for a couple of years. Well, now I'm bored. It's the same old, like as if you're watching a soap opera. Go back 5 years later, and it's on the same thing again. Dude, seriously, bore me? Okay, so you can't say any names because then you will get incriminated and you can get sued. So all I will say is the person that lives in the White House and he's male. Obviously, his hormones are out of whack. He throws a lot of temper tantrums. Shame on you, because now you've made the United States a laughingstock compared to the way it was in yesteryear. Anyone that is in politics must take their job seriously, for Pete's sake, or get out. And someone that can actually do the job correctly without throwing a temper tantrum is who we need. An adult, not emotionally mature, immature child in an adult body. Bottom line, period, and that's the way it is. Now, this person obviously has their hormones out of whack because their fruit intake is incorrect. There's certain amounts of adequate fruit a human must consume on a daily basis, and the correct type of fruit on a daily basis, or your hormones will go out of whack and you'll throw a hissy fit, temper tantrum. Shame on you. So this particular person is not correlating, whether you want to believe it or not, correct amount of intake for their sex organs. That's all there is to it. So they have a sexual imbalance. And when I yell, I'm not yelling at you. I'm just yelling to hear myself talk. Because I'm permanently deaf in one ear because of radiation cancer treatment. So now, I watched the movie years ago. I thought it was super cool. I even told my mom. And I like foreign films. You know, you have to get the English captions, and so you can read it. So I can read it and I can watch it at the same time. People from time to time would be like, can you read it so they can watch the movie? Dude, do it at the same time. What's wrong with you? I can watch the movie and read the titles at the same time. Otherwise, you're no point in watching the movie if you can't do both simultaneously, for Pete's sake. And I don't know the language, and trust me, my brain is not into conquering foreign languages like that. I understand foreign languages of, like, a different species, plants and birds and whatnot. But when it comes to movies, no, sorry. English, blah, blah. Spanish, blah, blah. German, blah, blah. Y'all be spitting a bunch of blah, blah out of your mouth. Learn telepathy, for God's sake. So this particular person, hormones are out of whack. Dude, I'm looking at about 75 to 80% off balance. And that's why his health is going to deteriorate more and more every day because he has an imbalance in hormones. Now, this movie, this lady, this is a true life story. I couldn't tell you where it was, in the Arctic, Greenland, whatever. She grew a mushroom farm. And she went to do catering as her business. And whatever country it was that she was catering in, the president of that country asked her to come and work at his house. He has a kitchen for his regular staff that does all the cooking and all that, but he wants for private parties, he wanted her to come and work, and he would supply the staff for his private parties for his family and stuff. So, you know, because you got public and you got private, which is the way life should be. And that's what I do. And my home life is private. And I don't let people in my private life. Only when I know them personally are they allowed in. Other than that, you need an invitation. That means you talk to my people will talk to your people, and that's how it flows. So he invited her over. She then went to go work there for 1 year. Made good money. She made a fabulous, more of a reputation for her business and who she is as a businesswoman. After 1 year, she told him, thank you for this privilege, but I must go home now and attend to my own business. And he said, thank you, and they parted in good ways. And, dude, if it happened, it could happen to others. Wouldn't that be super cool if I was invited to the White House to go over there and cook and put this man back on an emotional balance? That'd be like, okay, that'd be like, I could do that for a while. And it would, like, help promote my businesses. You see what I mean? Because then I would be able to have the space to teach the workshops and all the other things. Because I have 5 businesses. And at the same time, it could help in my healing process of my 3rd different cancer. So there's a lot of good things that could come out of it. It wouldn't be just for recognition, because I'd want to be over there in the private rooms. And I don't need any social media. I don't need news and all this other blah, blah. I like my privacy. That's why I never wanted to become rich and famous. I like my privacy, and I always will. I figured that out when I was like, what, maybe 8 years old? No, thank you. I did professional modeling from the age of 12 to the age of 49. It's called plasticity. It's a plastic world of fake people, places, and things. I'm not into it. I'm into truth. And fake plastic? Dude, you got your Botox and all this other crap. Seriously? Dude, I'm not up into that. Do you see birds running to go and get Botox? Do you see worms going to get Botox? What is wrong with humans? Y'all got your head twisted. Gee whiz, no wonder why your hormones are out of balance. And that's why the world wants to keep blowing itself up. All the humans are out of control because your hormones are out of balance because you have lost your balance in your sex organs, for Pete's sake. I'm telling you like it is, and I see truth. And I see energy. Just like the ladies at the hospital, the professionals. I tell them, your fingers are out of whack, which is the head. She has an imbalance. The other one is her guts imbalance. And the other one is her lungs are imbalanced. Yeah, I see it. Because y'all hormones are out of check, for Pete's sake. So, if there are people contacted my people to go and work at the White House for a while, sure, I'd try it out. I guess I could take a 2-week vacation to see how things can float. Other than that, no, I don't know, maybe a year. But I have to finish this program. I'm getting ready to go on to be a contractor at my job for a year, and then I go back on payroll. And I start that in August. I would go to do it for August of 2026. So after that, if they wanted me to come and work at the White House for a couple of years, okay, I could do that. A year. And then I would take a sabbatical from my job. And then I would guarantee a job, but not my job. That's the way it works. You have a year of general leave. You can always be guaranteed a job. May not be the job you want, but you're guaranteed a job. That's a good thing about being a government employee, because I'm a public employee, not a private employee. Did private for many years. I said, oh no, this ain't gonna work. I need public, because I need the bennies. I need the benefits, for Pete's sake. So, if there are people contacting my people, sure, I would try it out for a while, but it would have to be after August of 2026. I got my plans in motion. I've been planning my life since the day I was born, and that's the way it is, and that's the way it will always be in every lifetime. Planning. Okay, so I've said my piece. Their hormones are out of whack. Now, their nutrition, whoever is going to come in and try to fix it, y'all don't know what you're doing. You don't understand the 5 elements, for Pete's sake. So when you actually understood not just science and moved on beyond baby science, it's only been around, let's see, when was it established? 1800. Let's jump into the realms of science has been around for not thousands but billions of years. Let's step into the real world. Not rocket science. It's called logic. Okay? So, when I do it, I step into the real world called logic in order to give you the adequate amount of healing that you need for whatever ails you. That's the way it works. Alright, I said my piece. Now I gotta go back to finish making my oatmeal loaded. I cook once a week for the week, because I have other things to do in life. I was not born to cook and clean. I don't come home every day cooking and cleaning. No, thank you. I'm busy. I got other things to do, place to go, and people to see. And life is love is life. Blessings from Reverend Ms. Lewis, and thank you for your support.